What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. AEW's Holiday Bash is here, including an AEW Women's Championship defense by Jamie Hayter. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Dynamite, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE has made a major change to the wellness policy, Matt Riddle breaks his silence, a major company is interested in buying WWE, is Miro interested in a WWE return, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. Now, as always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we look at the good first as number 1, Starks mans up. But Ricky Starks' show opening promo addressed the elephant in the room, his loss to MJF last week. Absolute Starks manned up, admitting he lost, but like any good babyface, noting he's lost like a man, as opposed to MJF who won by cheating. Starks promised different results down the road, coming out smelling like roses. Number 2, Starks strikes back. AEW must have big plans for Starks, because they wasted no time taking him from one high-profile program into another. A wrestler is only as good as their next program, and Starks has gone from one main event program, his match with AEW champion MJF, to a main event program with the Jericho Appreciation Society. Jericho offering Starks a spot in JAS, and Ricky's refusal quickly set the stage for the feud, and Action Andretti running in to save Stark from a JAS beatdown was a good way to show Starks has support. Number 3, Andretti is on fire. The Wizards struck again, with Chris Jericho paying Action Andretti back for his upset win by fireballing the young star. When executed correctly, fireballs never get too old, and they're a classic way to, dare we say, get that heel heat. Andretti is clearly a threat to JS, which means fans should expect him to see enjoying a push as he battles Jericho and his henchmen over the next few months. Number 4, Death Triangle vs Elite Holiday Banger. Last night's no DQ match stipulation was another example of how promotions should do rematches. AEW has booked stipulation matches to keep this series fresh and add an extra layer to each match. While there's a case to be made that 7 matches are a bit much, there's also the case to be made that both trios teams have put on one exciting match after another. Number 5, Holiday Greetings from the King of Television. A Samoa Joe might not seem like the epitome of holiday cheer, but the King of Television was anything but a Scrooge, extending warm Yuletide greetings in a promo that only Joe could pull off. Joe wished former TNT champion Wardlow a happy holiday season, but doubted that Wardlow would have a happy new year. Sometimes fans forget just how good Samoa Joe is on the microphone and how he takes being a badass to new levels, often foregoing the standard screaming and shouting for a subdued approach to things, a reminder that ice can be deadly as fire. Number 6, some brutal beatdowns. The AEW Galaxy got to see some epic beatdowns last night, including Chris Jericho fireballing Action Andretti and Big Bill chokeslamming Jungle Boy Jack Perry into a dumpster. However, last night's highlight was Swerve Strickland landing a top rope stomp on Keith Lee, smashing a cinder block that was placed on Lee's chest. AEW showcased a variety of ass-whooping to further feuds, showing creativity without going over the top. Number 8, a good blend of matches. Winter's Bash was a strong show and actually a better show than last week's Winter is Coming special. While last night's show only had one title match, it had plenty of entertaining matches, interviews, and segments. AEW showed it's not afraid to push different stars and give them a brush with the main event. For example, Ethan Page tried to play spoiler to Bryan Danielson's world title ambitions, while Darius Martin got a match with Jon Moxley. Even then, Guns got a surprise win over the FTR. They're in a squash match featuring Hook and a banger main event, and AEW did deliver. And Jamie Hayter vs Shida's strong title defense. It's amazing just how much Jamie Hayter has come into her own over the last year. Much like Dr. Britt Baker, Hayter had worked incredibly hard to improve in the ring, and the results are undeniable. She doesn't seem like a transition champion, but a woman well deserving of the title, and one whose title defenses continue to entertain. But that was a good. What about the bad? As number 1, Jon Moxley calls out wrestlers for being injured. What? We've questioned Jon Moxley's monotonous promos, but who would have thought he'd change things up by calling out wrestlers for getting injured? AEW often lets its wrestlers blur the line between traditional babyface and heel roles, but in Moxley's case it's hard to figure out what his agenda is. Is he implying his opponents are soft for getting hurt? If so, he has a long list of wrestlers to address, including his Blackpool Combat Club teammate Bryan Danielson. That was nothing downright ugly, and again, this was actually a better overall show than Winter is Coming. AEW is showing it's not afraid to push different wrestlers, despite the promotion still having to deal with the lack of TV time for its various stars. What did you guys think of Dynamite last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now, let's move on to the news. first story looks at WWE changing the wellness policy. Riddle, who's believed to be off TV due to a second wellness policy violation, apparently having violated it the first time last summer, but where things are getting sketchy is that the WWE didn't announce the first violation. Traditionally, the WWE issues a statement anytime a wrestler violates the policy. This has raised the question whether the WWE has changed the policy, and if it has, what is the new policy? Another concern is where things stand as far as a third violation goes. Dave Meltzer is raising the question whether a wrestler will be released should they incur a third violation. Meltzer addressed this on the Wrestling Observer discussion group, claiming he believes the policy has changed so a third violation does not mandate a release. The reason? Apparently the WWE is concerned of losing talent to AEW. According to Meltzer, Riddle isn't the only top-tier superstar with 2 violations. If so, it's certainly a cause for concern, as it begs the question whether the WWE enforces it arbitrarily. Next up, Matt Riddle breaks his silence. Speaking of Riddle, Wrestling's Ultimate Bro recently released a statement about his status while he's off WWE television. Riddle tweeted, "I've been working a lot on myself lately and I've been saying no and setting boundaries for the first time ever, and certain people aren't happy about it. But I couldn't be healthier or happier. Thank you for all the support." Next up is NBC Universal buying the WWE. More rumors about the WWE being sold, and while the sales rumors are nothing new, as fans have heard serious talk about different parties being interested in buying the company since right before the pandemic put everything on hold, who writes about media for the Sports Business Journal is predicting WWE goes all in with NBCU. WWE's TV deals expire at the end of 2024, but it will start to negotiate new deals in April, right before WrestleMania. By the end of 2023, WWE will have a deal in place with NBCU that keeps Raw and NXT on USA and moves SmackDown from Fox to one of NBC's channels. NBC Universal's name has come up before as a possible purchaser of the WWE. On paper, it makes sense as the conglomerate already pays the rights for Raw, NXT, and the WWE Network. But one thing that could block a sale is Vince McMahon's attempt to return to power in the WWE. As we mentioned earlier this week, things could get messy if McMahon tried to return given his past scandals, as well as 2 new allegations being made against him, putting any sale on hold. Next up, WWE cancels live event in India. Now, bad news for members of the WWE Universe in India who are hoping to attend the WWE's January live event. WrestleVotes is reporting, "I'm told the proposed WWE live event in India scheduled for 18th January has been postponed for unspecified reasons. The show was only booked for a 5,000 person venue, but it was still seen as a big deal, and it marked the first WWE live event in India in 2017. Next up, Swerve Strickland's new partner in crime. If you're wondering who the behemoth that helped Swerve Strickland and Parker Boudreaux lay out Keith Lee, or Fightful Select reports that the wrestler is 6'4" Grandin Gottsman who played professional baseball on the farm teams. Gottsman is part of Strickland's new Mogul Associates faction, which looks like it has the muscle to give Swerve Strickland plenty of backup against the always imposing Keith Lee. Next up, Edge's contract status. Are you guys wondering what Edge's contract status is with the WWE? If you are, you're not alone, as there's some confusion about the nature of the Rated R Superstars deal. Let's look at a report from Fightful Select, which noted that the initial report was that Edge signed a 3-year deal with 25 appearances and 5 matches. However, the Patreon site is reporting that initial number was incorrect, or it had been modified since Edge returned at the 2020 Rumble. Edge is teased retiring soon, so 2023 could be the last year fans get to see him perform. Next up, an Adam Cole update. A time for an Adam Cole update as fans continue to wonder when the 2022 Owen Hart tournament winner will be back in action after suffering a concussion at Forbidden Door. Meltzer was asked this on Twitter and replied, "He's doing much better. The last I heard is that don't have any time frame for a return. With concussions, you can't predict time frame. As Meltzer has stated before, Cole could be back tomorrow and he might never be back, so there's no such thing as being overcautious when it comes to treating wrestlers who have suffered concussions, especially in light of what the medical community knows about the short and long-term effects of concussions. Hopefully Moxley won't call out Cole for being injury prone." And finally, Lana talks Miro returning to WWE. Last but not least, could Miro return to WWE? Well, Miro's wife CJ Perry, aka former superstar Lana, recently appeared on 92.7 WMAY. She commented, "The great thing about wrestling, it doesn't matter what company you work for, what promotion, anything can happen. Let's be honest, we know that everyone always returns back to WWE at some point." Miro hasn't appeared much in AEW, leading to questions whether or not AEW has any storylines booked for him. His absence has also led to questions about how happy he is in the promotion. Well, there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, as well as our review of Dynamite. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.